Hello everyone, it's Current Cartoon TV coming to you with another review. My name is Outlaw and I will be your host today as we are going to be reviewing episode number 3 of the Owl House, I Am a Teenage Abomination. The synopsis of this episode is that Luz sneaks onto a local magical school to help her friend and make new enemies in the progress. So let's go into my likes of this episode. One of my first likes is that we actually get to see a magical school. So just think of this as a high school but with magical classes. We also get to see a couple new characters, one of them being Willow, a friendly witch that attends the Hetside Academy schools of magic and demonics. She also helps Luz sneak into the school if Luz acts like Willow's abomination to get a better grade. In return, that Luz can also see how a real magical school is like. We also get to meet Gus, a friend of Willow, and is the president of the Human Appreciation Club, and easily spots Luz as a human. We also get to meet Amity Bright, a top school student at Hetside, and possible a rival to Luz, Willow, and Gus. We also find out that Ida actually attended a school before, but dropped out as she didn't like the way they were teaching it. She also makes a great point that magic is not proper, it's wild and unpredictable, that's why it's so beautiful.
But magic isn't proper, it's wild and unpredictable, and that's why it's so beautiful. I didn't finish school and look at me. Who wouldn't envy where I am right now?
Also, there's a little side bet going on between Ida and King, as King is trying to prove that he's a better teacher than Ida because she has failed to teach Luz anything about magic. But in the end, King loses his bet as his snail actually turns against him because King forgot to give him more dog treats, and now is known as Mr. Wiggles.
Please help me! You can call me Mr. Wiggles! Okay, Mr. Wiggles, here's what we're gonna do.
We also get to see that there's different types of student uniforms at this school, which all have different types of tracks that the student can take. So far, we know that light purple is the Abomination magic, green plant magic track, and gray is possibly a track that the student has not made a choice on what track they want to take, as we see as some preschoolers in class all wearing gray uniforms. We also get to see light gray, red, dark purple, orange, and yellow, as we don't know what type of tracks these are, and I hope we get more details on what tracks these colors actually represent. But soon after, we actually see that Amity catches Luz not being a abomination during lunch, but is quickly sent to the principal office. Soon after, though, we get to see Principal Bump and Amity come back to try to dissect Luz. Luz barely escaping with the help of Willow's plant magic and a seed that Ida gave her at the beginning of the episode. I also now like that Luz actually respects Ida as a teacher and even made some new friends on the bowling aisle.
Aw, that would be nice, but I have a pretty great teacher already.
Yeah, that's right.
And even got herself a wanted poster banning her from ever coming back to the school again, which I'm pretty sure it won't keep her out. So let's go ahead into my dislikes. One of my dislikes is going to be that Ida is not taking her teaching seriously at the beginning of this episode. At this time, it looks like Ida is just using Luz as a worker, but not as a student. And another thing I did not like is there was no punishment from Principal Bump when Willow and Gus actually helped Luz escape the school. I know the Principal Bump was actually very impressed with Willow's plant magic, but she still let Luz escape. But that's pretty much all my dislikes of this episode. A little trivia is that the title of this episode is actually a parody of the 1957 horror films I Was a Teenage Werewolf and also I Was a Teenage Frankenstein. And there's a lot of Harry Potter references and how the school runs and teaches magic. So let's go ahead and go into my ratings here. And I actually very enjoyed this episode. It's almost on par as the very first episode of the season. So I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. Thank you guys for listening to my review of The Owl House, I Am a Teenage Abomination. If you guys like this review, please like this video and also put your comments down below and what did you like about this episode. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for more reviews of The Owl House and other shows that we might be actually picking up here. We also have our Facebook, Twitter, and our Patreon page linked below. And also, make sure you guys check out www.currentcartoontv.com. Thank you guys once again for listening to my review. Till next time, have a good day.